Hello, welcome back to my channel. Thank you so much for joining me today. I am going to share with you a review. I've had this for a little while now. Now we can talk about this. Now I have used it. Now we can talk about the ridiculously expensive Louis Vuitton Pharrell WIliams Leather Speedy. And is it even anywhere close to being worth the money? This is the Speedy 25 in the bandolier, so the smallest one of the collection that Pharrell released, and this was the grand sum of £6,850. That's a huge amount of money. A lot of you in my unboxing were critical because I didn't tell you the price. Yes, I didn't, because I hadn't actually come to terms with the price of this beautiful bag. But we're going to get into that. Do a little review, give you the good things, give you the bad things, give you my thoughts. But before we do, thank you to Vivaia for sponsoring this part of today's video. And can I tell you that currently on my feet, I think I am wearing the most comfortable trainers that I have ever worn. These things, let me take one off, that would be helpful. These things are insanely comfortable. These are the new trainers from Vivaia that you tie once and then you slip your foot in and out of. It has this little piece on the back and this is all very heavily cushioned, and you literally just slip your foot in and out of this whenever you want to put it on. That aside, I genuinely cannot tell you how comfortable these are. It's like wearing slippers. They're like all around them, up round here, all on the bed of the foot, the cushioning, everything. It's just so insanely comfortable. This is all very soft. Of course, Vivaia trainers and Vivaia shoes in general are one of my favourites, because one of the charities my company supports on a monthly basis is the Great Ocean Cleanup. This company speaks to my soul because their shoes and their trainers and their footwear are made from recycled plastic. The bottles that people throw into our oceans and impact greatly on the ocean wildlife and the ecosystem, they take them out, they recycle them, and every pair of shoes or trainers are made from at least 6 recycled plastic bottles, and I love that. But as well as that, these are so comfortable. I also got a pair from them in pink. These are the only pair that they sent me that I haven't yet worn. I have a pair of their running heels I'll share with you as well. I've worn those already too to work because, again, very comfortable. But I also got them, this is the way they come. They come in these boxes, which are also all from recycled material, but they pink. They also come in pink. Do you like my wall of pink? These match perfectly with my addiction to the colour pink. These actually come in a huge... I'll pick them back up. These actually come in a huge amount of colours, so whatever colour works with your wardrobe, there's going to be a pair. But these, I cannot tell you enough how ridiculously comfortable these are. And they have also introduced, to extend the comfort, running heels. Running heels, I hear you ask? Running heels. These are so comfortable. The only thing that I will say to you if you're going to order their heels to make sure you get the maximum of the comfort is to order half a size up. I have worn these already to work. They have a small heel so I can stand in them. The sole has been improved. The insole, it is so heavily cushioned. Heavily also, but heavily cushioned. You can see it there, how much it bounces. So comfortable. They have arch support. Even their flats have arch support. I am going to link for you the Vivaia details down below in the description box. I will link whatever codes that I have for you. And if you do get them, let me know which ones you're going to go for, because I want to convince everybody to wear these trainers, because genuinely, they are so comfortable. All right, let's talk about her. Let's talk about the bag that when I unboxed, I did get quite a few comments. A lot of people loving it. A lot of people thinking it was absolute and utter madness. And then also a couple of comments saying, oh, you've just bought that to unbox. We know you're going to send that back. We know that's a return, or you're going to sell it right away. We know that you only got that. No, she's still here. She's absolutely still here because she's cool. But I'm not going to sit here and say to you that because she's cool, she's worth it. She's probably not. If you want me to give you an honest answer about whether or not a leather Speedy is worth £6,850 in the size 25, which is the smallest. The rest are more expensive. No, she's a Speedy. She's a bag. She's a leather bag. But worth is relative, and we have to take into account worth as to what I think is worth for my wallet, you think is worth for your wallet, and we have to acknowledge what designer level prices are now. Because the Chanel Classic flap, which is sitting over there somewhere, is now over £9,000. Is that worth it? No. I will never be buying another one of those from the boutique. I don't think I will ever be buying another Classic flap. Minis, maybe a different story. But the Classic flap at £9,000, I am out. It's a huge amount of money. When you look at the prices that we're at, Dior, mini Lady Dior, no, Lady Dior, small one, £5,000. The prices of designer leather bags now are getting so high that my warped sense of reasoning and my level of acceptability is readjusting to take into account where the price points are currently sitting. That being said, when I looked at this, I went back and forward over this bag so many times. I tried so very hard to convince myself that I didn't want it and I didn't love it because I didn't want to spend £6,850 on it. I'm not even a Speedy lover. So this review is coming to you from someone who doesn't really like the Louis Vuitton Speedy. I find it a bit bulky, I find it a bit big, I don't really like it crossbody, all the things, but I really like this one. There's just something about it. Now, I'm going to be honest in this review, as I always am. When I first saw this, I am not going to lie to you, there was definitely an element of I wanted it. I wanted to have it. I wanted to add it to my collection. The Pharrell Williams Leather Speedy was very hyped, got a lot of attention. There was a bit of FOMO. There was a bit of, I want to have one. I know, not my proudest moment, but that was definitely an element in my thinking. And I tried very, very hard. I went back and forward on this a lot. I tortured Deb from Wild Unfiltered on this. What will I do? What will I do? What will I do? Even though we all knew what I was going to do. But I was looking some sort of reassurance that I wasn't being absolutely bonkers when I probably was. I knew I was going to get one, but I tried to convince myself not to. I tried to convince myself it was only the FOMO. I tried to convince myself I didn't really love it. I didn't really want it. In the end, I just got on board with myself and thought, I can't get this out of my head. It's living in there rent-free, and I am going to pull the trigger and pre-order one of those bags. She arrived. I unboxed her. Told you in the unboxing how nervous I was because I don't generally like Speedies. Why did you buy one? At stupid money. And I don't generally like red. I like pink. And I've talked about, I also loved the green. I was very undecided between the red and the green. I loved the both. Which should I buy? Ended up getting the red. Kind of regretted not getting the green, but didn't want to not have the red. Just loved the green as well. Just loved it. I don't regret her at all. Part of me almost wanted to regret her a bit. Part of me almost wanted to get this bag, use it, and then think, oh, that was a mistake. And I would have taken your criticism. I would have taken all of the judgment in the comment box. Told you so. Told you didn't want the Speedy. Told you she was going to return it and sell it on. Told you so. I would have taken all of that gladly because I was kind of hoping I would get her. I would use her. I would think, she's not worth that money. I don't love her as much anymore, so I can return her or sell. Well, I couldn't return her if I used her, but I could sell her and I could move on and live a happy life. I don't want to sell her. I don't. I really, really like this bag. And to give you a review of her, I have used this bag very, very casually. I have not yet used this bag in any kind of dressy way. To me, this is not a dressy bag, even though it's a huge amount of money. This is not a bag that I ever see myself taking out with a dressy outfit or taking as a piece to handhold to go with outfits that are going out, if that makes sense. I just don't see that for this in my wardrobe. But when I bought this bag, I knew this would be casual for me. So when I have used this bag, despite its price tag, it has been out mostly with my children. I can hear the gasps. You bought a Speedy at £608,500 to take your children out. Are you mental? Maybe. But that's what I've been doing. I have been taking this bag out on days out with my husband and my children. I've generally been wearing this bag crossbody, and I've generally been wearing it crossbody thrown round the back of me. So the strap's coming here and the bag's round here. And that's generally been the way she's mostly been used. I do store her with her pillow so she keeps her shape. I have not yet bought an organiser. I don't think I'm going to, and I know a few people did say to me about getting an organiser just to give a little bit of shape. Because I wear this bag so casually, I actually really like the slouch. It goes right in. That's it. Attack the expensive bag. I know, but she goes straight in, and I like that slouchiness. I like whenever I fling this bag across me, she kind of molds to your body, unless obviously she's very full and there's lots of stuff in her. But she kind of molds to your body. And I actually like it when it's almost like this. And I hated the other Speedy, the canvas Speedy like that. I hated it like that. But I really like this one. And the leather is so soft. So supple. And I told you that in my unboxing. But having used this bag now, it's so soft. It literally just flattens, molds. It's so sumptuous. The feeling of it's fabulous. It is beautiful. Not saying just find said price point, but it is a beautiful leather. It's so soft and so just supple. You could sit and do this with your bag and have people stare at you because the leather is that good. This is the strap that comes with her. I like this. I think this comes from the Keep All, that you have this little patch underneath the strap, and this adds to the comfort of this bag. I would say she can get a little bit heavy. Now, I didn't overfill the bag. I had in here my wallet, I had my phone, I had a lip gloss, I had car keys, and I had a few things that my children had thrown in. So definitely more than I would normally carry in a mini bag. But I would say by the end of the day I felt her. But not to the point that it was uncomfortable, not to the point it was cutting into my shoulder, and this definitely helps with that. This makes it more comfortable. The strap is pretty thick. I actually like this. I like the hardware. The hardware obviously adds weight, but I like the look of it. And when I had this on, and I have a shoulder injury, so a lot of bags won't work for me. My shoulder will get sore very quickly. But I managed a full day of this. We went bowling, we went to the arcade, we then went to mini golf, and we then went out for dinner. Now, by the time we got to dinner, I was glad to be taking this off my shoulder. I'd had it on all day. Any bag I will be like that though. It was not overly painful, it was not overly heavy, but it's not a bag you're not going to notice, if you know what I mean, but not uncomfortably so. So I put this on across me and I wore it flung around here like that most of the day. Now, thankfully most people where I live would have no idea what this was, because flung around the back of you is probably not the best idea to be keeping an eye on this, but it just worked. I could have obviously brought it around here, but because the children were with me and we were at the arcade or whatever, I kind of threw it out of my way around here, and this is kind of how I wore this bag for most of the day. Is like a typical Speedy. There's no magic to this one that isn't on your traditional Speedy. It's a black hole. That's a bit annoying, and it's always annoyed me about the Speedy, but I'm getting over it for this one. So when you open it, it is one zip across, and when I had it on crossbody, it would bring it round the front to open and get whatever probably you said child wanted. The opening is not overly big, it's quite tight. This hasn't revolutionised what we've all been saying about Speedies for a long time. It is quite tight because it's the 25 and it is a bit of a black hole. So I did find that some of their things got lost in here to the point that I actually thought I'd lost them, but they were in there somewhere. It was just pretty difficult to find. So it is a bit of a black hole. An organiser would obviously help with that, but I really like the slouchy look and I don't really want to lose the slouchy look of the bag. I think it's a bit of a vibe, and I know I say that word a lot. Also, we got caught in the rain. Now, this is Vachetta, but I think it's coded Vachetta. not treated vachetta. I'm not exactly sure. I think it must be because we got caught in the rain and there are no stains on this at all. There's nothing on the handles. There's nothing on any of the straps or the vachetta. It held up beautifully. The leather also got pretty wet from the rain, because rain is wet, it's water, and there was nothing I could do. It did get pretty wet. There's no marks on it at all. It wasn't lashing with rain, but it was pretty wet. There's no marks on it at all. The leather has held up beautifully. There's no corner wear or anything yet. Now, I'd like to think not at this price, but we all know with the designer quality nowadays that sometimes what you would expect isn't what happens. There's no marks in any of the corners, and I have worn this a few times. I love her. One thing I will tell you is when we went out for dinner the night I'm talking about, we were in a diner type restaurant because 2 young children, circle booth, and for some reason something spoke to me and said set it up at the back, and I did that, and it's one of the times that my son spilt his drink everywhere, and this would have been sitting in a puddle of it. So there was at least someone protecting the bag, and I set it up there, which I normally wouldn't do. But really enjoyed it, and really enjoyed the feeling of using the bag. Think it's very usable, apart from if you're looking at any Speedy in the 25. The opening's not great. It's quite tight. Even though it's a bigger than a mini bag, it is actually quite tight to get in and out of if you were filling this or getting your things in and out. And it is a bit of a black hole. This one does have the zip on the back, which I did use. I put things in there that I had, like my bank card and stuff, that I needed to know where it was, so it gave me a little bit of organisation and I could find that easily. Inside of it is leather, so I didn't really worry too much about putting the boys' things in because I knew I could wipe it. Holds quite a lot. It is a Speedy 25. It holds certainly everything that I'm going to need to use on a daily basis and much more. Mine was not full or anywhere close to it. If you were to fill this and you were to put, say, wallet, notebook, address book, diary, things like that into it, it is going to get heavy because it's heavy on its own. And if you were to add all of that in, you're going to feel it. Somebody asked me about my agenda. This is the GM agenda from Louis Vuitton. Is this going to... No. You know, you're going to be like this. It is a 25. It's not a massive bag. And you're not going to maneuver that in sidewards either. So it's not going to fit something like that. It is going to fit a smaller notebook. It is going to fit everyday essentials. It could get heavy. Do I regret it at its very hefty price point? No. And I kind of wanted to. But no, I don't. And am I going to sell it? No, I'm not. It's going to stay. Have I any idea or thoughts of passing this on? No, I really don't. Certainly not at the moment. I think it's really cool. And I think as a more casual bag that isn't a mini, I'm really enjoying it. And I just, even though I get the price, I think it's fab. I think it's cool. And if anybody is looking at one of these in a 25, just be aware of the opening, be aware of the black holeness. I would recommend the bandolier, so as you can put this across you, even if you're looking at the canvas, rather than the traditional Speedy. I think the option of having this, even if you take it off, the option I think is great, so as you can put it cross body and be hands free. I know they're re-releasing these, and the colours on the runway were the pinks and the purples and the turquoise colours. I don't intend to buy another one. When I bought the red, I had a word with myself that even if they were bringing more colours, expensive, don't need to. But if you're thinking about it and you love the Speedy and you love the colour, I definitely don't regret mine. Thank you so much for watching my review of the Pharrell WIliams Louis Vuitton Speedy in the 25 in the leather, and for coming on my little chat with me about how I really wanted to regret this bag but I don't. Thank you so much to Vivaia for sponsoring the start of the video. I will leave all of the links that you need in the description box if you want to check out any of their footwear. These trainers, I can't stress to you the comfort that is on my feet right now. They're fabulous. Thank you so much for watching this. If you have enjoyed it in any way, please do consider giving it a thumbs up. If you haven't yet, please do consider subscribing. And if you're not done with me yet, I'm going to leave another video for you on the screen to enjoy. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you for watching me. Please take care, and I will see you again in the next one.